Hello, YouTube. Welcome to our first ever episode on the House of Tisci YouTube channel, where we have special guest, the founding father, Icon Gunner Tisci, overall Overseer Icon Lawrence Tisci, and Icon NYC father, Yoyo Tisci with us, where we're going to talk about topics around a ballroom that's specifically the house's topics that we go through as members in the House of Tisci, which can be kind of hot, interesting, and very controversial at times, and also other houses that are in ballroom, and plus hot topics that we talk about and we see over the internet. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be incorporated onto this channel, where we're going to have people that are leaders in the House of Tisci, plus members that are going to be incorporated onto this channel, and even other houses and other members in different houses that will be on our channel as well. And let us know who you guys want us to have on the platform next down in the comment section below. So with that being said, hello you guys, welcome to the first ever episode. Are you guys excited?
Hello. Yes, I am.
Hello, everyone. Super excited.
Yes. So let's get straight into this. You know, I'm all about just getting right into this, to the meat and the potatoes of the situation. So let's talk about it, because if we're gonna have this YouTube channel, we got to keep it real and authentic. Why do we kick out Milan?
Wait, what? I'm gonna ask last because I was the last.
Talk about ripping off the Band-Aid. I don't mind going first. I've been the target of the oppression, so I don't care.
Let's go.
Milan was kicked out of the house the same reason I threw away the pants I wore when I was 12. They're not a fit.
There you go. Because keep in mind, you guys, everyone is going to have difference of opinions to everything. Some people are going to have same opinions, and some people are going to have different opinions. And it does cause a little tension, which is another reason why we started the YouTube channel, because we want to showcase that everyone is not always on the same accord, but we always function as one at the end of the day. So Lawrence, what's the situation? Tell me your reasoning. Tell me what you feel. Tell me your thoughts. Go ahead and be honest, bitch.
I'm definitely gonna be honest. Listen, we here, right? So I will start off by piggybacking off of Gunner's response of he was not a fit. I just don't think that it was more so of a thing of just brands not aligning, to be completely honest. Trial and fail. Yeah. I think that's that's pretty much the way to answer that. Yeah, trial and fail. Brands did not align. Yeah, I'll start there. That's where I'll start.
No, that's good. That's good. Even though we wanted you to finish as well, but you know we're gonna get to. We're just getting Lawrence heated up, you guys. We're getting Lawrence heated up. We're getting.
I can't believe it's Lawrence and Gunner with the sugar toppings right now.
Okay.
I mean, we can get into it.
Let's go.
Right? So
let's go.
Realistically speaking,
hold on, Gunner. Let Yo-Yo go, and then we'll go with what you have to say with that.
I'll start by saying this: Milan. Milan is its own entity, and it needs its own place and room to thrive and grow. And coming into an entity that is already kind of has its, kind of route and way that it wants to grow. And I won't say that Tisci does not pivot at times, but I think Tisci is at a place where it knows where it wants to grow and how it wants to grow. And I think Milan Milan is like a weed, a vibrant weed, but it could grow anywhere, anytime, any place. And Tisci is not like that. And so I just don't think that in that aspect, Tisci was kind of ready for that, all of what Milan had, to come with him, and all of the noise that it brought, and all of the changes that it could possibly make. And so for that reason, you know what I'm saying, I think that's why Milan wasn't really a good fit and was kicked out. It was just too much, too soon, too fast, too quick, and the girls just couldn't get with that type of program.
Well, Milan the resume, A1. Milan the person, trash.
There you go. Okay, Lawrence, you want to
So
finish it
yes,
off?
so yep. So since we're doing a second time around, yeah. So I'm ready this time.
Let's go.
Um, to be completely honest, because I once I re-listened to the question, right? The question is why was Milan kicked out the house? That is the question I think we have never answered. To be completely honest, the reason that Milan was kicked out the house was um honestly because of a comment that he made. One that he made on Big O, referring to someone's I guess like HIV status or you know what I'm saying. And when he got on there and was making those comments, that was just something as our overall father, which is the highest level of an ambassador in this house. You know what I'm saying? That's specifically what that category is centered around.
Especially
Um
within the way we regard our female figures and our trans women and our people in our house, period, whether regardless of their status, regardless of their sexual identity, we regard people in our house with as a safe space. And so we would never want anybody, regardless of their, status or sexual identity or anything, to feel any way slighted by something that someone in our house said publicly.
Yeah. So once that statement was made, we could not stand with him. We could not align the brand with him anymore. So that decision had to be made immediately.
So with saying that, with branding and stuff like that, as far as the house goes, now when Milan exits the house and he was kicked out of the house, with people that are still close to him or have attachment to him or even just friends with him or even just are being very cordial to him, the people that do feel a type of way about Milan that are still in the house, how do people navigate that? Because I think that's an important topic, because does everyone need to be not friends with someone that left the house in a negative way or in a bad way or even in a good way?
Milan and I have no negativity. I see Milan at the Chanel ball. We hugged and we talked, and so Milan and I have no negativity. And again, like I said, I think Milan will be great somewhere in a space where he has the room to grow and thrive and function how he wants to, like, at his own rules. But I think that's just part of separate. People leave houses all the time. We've left the house. All of us on this screen have left the house before, and we all are friends with people that may still be in those houses. And so it's just about being an adult and separating the two.
So for me, right, because of the situation surrounding Hamalan, what caused us to put him out of the house, and he has continued to perpetuate after being put out of the house. Yeah, I would never tell someone that's in my close group or in my house specifically, right, as the founder, that you can't be friends with this person who we put out for X, Y, and Z. What I can tell you is Gunner, the person, will look at you like trash depending on who you choose to have in your circle based on their morality and how they move. So if you surround yourself with people who do things like talk about status very freely and it's been made public, if you're around people who do harmful things to community and you choose to do that, I'm gonna look at you like birds of a feather flock together. You may have qualities that allow you to still be in my house because you yourself haven't done anything that offends me, but I don't trust you more than I can throw you.
Okay, no, that, and thank you for being honest with that and answering it so transparently. Lawrence, go ahead.
My opinion on that is the both of those two statements, right? I feel like, yes, people have the right to associate with whoever they want to associate with. However, then those involved or affected by the situation have the right to associate you with you based off of how you associate with them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just think that that's what we have to be honest. Like, no, we don't tell people to throw shade, but it's like I said, if this is somebody that is just sitting here just bashing me, you know what I'm saying all this crazy shit about me and doing all of this, like, I don't know. To me, I'm gonna be completely honest. since we just being completely transparent, like I don't like that kind of shit. Like my girlfriends call me petty. I don't really give a fuck. But yes, my girlfriends don't have girlfriends that's not my girlfriend. No shade. I don't give a fuck. Like it's no shade because it's just something in there and how we align it. Like it just don't align. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see you really calling yourself my friend, but you hanging around this bitch and like they bashing the fuck out of me. And to the extent to where he went with a lot of the stuff that he was saying with that, it's like shit, bitch. No, don't play with me like that. Like you know what I'm saying? So we would love to politically say, no, everyone is this and the third, but the reality is like, you kind of get a cold shoulder and you know where it came from.
And I want to add, right, to be clear
there
for
you go.
transparency,
Roller coaster.
for those that are watching, to be clear for transparency, this isn't what Lawrence is saying isn't you're no longer in our house, so we don't use you. This is a bitch, you tried my house, you continue to try our house, you tried our leadership. For months you went on this whole storyline and made it part of your BO story and all like you really denigrated and degraded our house. So after that it's fuck you, right? Like if Yo-Yo is one of my best friends. If he fall out with someone over some bitch, I just don't fuck with her and they just separate ways and they're still my friend. Yo-Yo's never had a problem with being that person's friend, right? And I wouldn't have a problem being that person's friends. That's different than they fell out. The bitch read Yo-Yo for weeks on the site, talking about she ain't shit, blah, 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 and went on and on and on. And then I'm still like, well, Yo-Yo, girl, I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend tonight. Are you? Who's your
Let's be
girlfriend?
clear. I'm not hanging out with Milan. I said
You're like, don't get it confused.
Yeah.
Just because I said I
don't
spoke
get it
to
confused.
and hang out with.
I don't have an issue with her other than
Right.
things that she stands for, but I mean,
Yeah, and then for me with the whole Milan thing, I believe in what you put out and what you think and what because words do have power. I don't wish no ill will on Milan. I wish nothing. Go ahead, do all the things that you want to do in life. Create what you want to create. May everything that you want to do, especially with the new house and endeavors that you want to create, and do your thing. It's just, again, I personally, I don't think I could be close to Milan. I never was close to Milan. Let's just be honest. It was what it was. We know each other. I have no ill will towards Milan. And I hope that everyone, and if someone, like, for example, let's just be honest, if you see me have a conversation with Milan at a ball or something, I don't want you to feel any type of way, because it's just more so like a cordial thing, because I don't necessarily dislike him.
Would not Milan be a good interview? Like that would be a.
No, I'm sorry. I don't bring trash into my house.
We will not be providing any platform.
I'm not here. I'm just saying not here, but that's good. Y'all gotta.
I think Milan has had enough interviews. I'm not bringing trash into my house and calling it the court.
I'm not saying what you bring into your house, but what I'm saying is Milan has established himself for what he is and for what. That does not mean that I agree with it or that I follow it. But what I'm saying is it carries a particular type of following, and it has its own space, and that's why
ants,
I'm
lemons,
very affirming to
roaches.
him having his own space to grow.
Right. And,
yeah,
him having his own platform and followings for them, and that be that type of platform. I feel like he's done hundreds of interviews, over the months that he was doing. He did interviews daily. So I don't think it's any more for him to say.
Because he's content. That's what Milan is. Milan is content, y'all.
And then honestly, the reason why I wanted to ask that question, especially for our first ever episode, was because we started the year off with that, and we're ending the year off of this. And it's done. We never talked about it before. This is where we talked about it on our own platform, on our own channel, in our own words, and on our own way. So it is what it is. So let that go. Let that go. Let bygones be bygones. If you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be bothered. If whatever the situation is, the situation is. And now moving on from the whole Milan topic, because we had to talk about that, because I wanted the people out there to know how we all felt about it.
Yeah, we were working on smoke.
Yeah, it is what it is with that.
Talk about the house of Milan, honestly, but okay.
Oh, since you brought that, since you want to go there, yo, let's talk about the house of Milan.
I don't got no dog in that fight, baby.
Yeah, you know what? Lawrence don't got no dog in the fight. When it's just the
Yes,
Milan
give it her on
panel,
the show, girl. Say
yeah,
put her on
yes.
the show.
When it's the ex Milan panel, we'll do that. And honestly, let us know if you guys want to hear that from us as well down in the comments about the situation or any other topic that you guys want us to bring up. Let us know down in the comments because I definitely will
Put in the
ask it.
comments you want Gunner to come back and air that shit out. Put in the
Oh my
comments. Drop it
god.
right now, right
Oh
here.
my god.
Because I still have some shit to air out about that
Oh my.
topic.
Me
Let's not
too,
go there.
secretly. So yeah, so moving on from that, what things do you want to see going into 2026 from the House of Tisci? What exactly do you want to see us do differently?
I don't want us to throw a ball until year 10. 'Cause-
Well, that's in 2027. So that's in a
that's
year.
not a
That's a
far
year.
from now,
That's a
but
year and 6 months from now. It would be 10 years. For me, I think I would like to see us. I think last year was a year of experimentation for us. We're in a growth phase. So we provided a lot of grace in areas that we typically, especially those of us who started out together this 7, 8 years ago and our backgrounds together, that we wouldn't give a lot of shit situations and bitches grace that we did. Milan being one of those. So I think that now we're at a space where we've given some grace, we've tried some different things, we know what's worked for us. I want us to, and I spoke about this with the house. It's not about rebranding Tisci. I want us to realign with where we were and who we were because we got a little bit off that alignment. So I would like that. I think one of those things that we did, we started by bringing back Sade, one of the original dolls that we founded and brought to Ballroom. So you're going to see a lot of that in 2027. I told you guys in 2025 that I'm coming for my children, some of my original children. So I want all houses to be on alert. Yes, I will be in their inboxes. I will be telling them I want them to be back home. So you better be providing them a safe space. Um, that they would want to stay. I would love to see our fashions get back re-elevated. I think the past year we've spent a lot of time in the face realm. So we've really been dominating face. I love that for our girls. We have girls with different flavors. Our dolls come in every shape, size, color, and hue. I would like us to expand that more into our Butch Queen side. And just really be the force, honestly, that I know that Ballroom is afraid that if we ever get to that and be the thing that they are most afraid of, they can't stop us.
I'm also eager to see our performance kids reach their full capacity. Like Trey has been slowly but surely gaining this momentum. But I'm so looking forward to how Trey is gonna dominate Vogue Film next year. I think
Yes. And
Trey
shout
is
outs
gonna
to
be
Dro. And shout outs to Dro too.
Dro too.
Dro.
I think
Another one of
Dro
my
is
kids who we
stepping.
went back and grabbed and brought back home.
Yes, and I think Dro is stepping into this almost this legendary phase. Like Dro is in this up and coming legend phase, and I'm so eager to see him kind of step into his, that year when it's almost time for you, and so you get hungry and you hit the floor like really hard. I'm eager to see Dro hit the floor, eager for his status to come.
But I think this is a really good question. I would love to hear what the overall overseer who stepped into this role halfway through this year, right? Because for those who may not, our house structure, our overseer for us is the one who provides overall guidance and direction for the house, backed by the founders, and then our overall parents and the chapter and regional leaders kind of implement that vision of how we want to make that happen. So I would love to hear from Lawrence. Where do you see and what do you want for the house in this coming year?
Well, where I wanted to start off with it is where I don't want to see the house do again. Um, I wanted to say, I don't ever want this house to ever forget who we are ever again. And I saw that happen with the Milan Gate, right? Like when that happened and it at that point that was a I'm gonna tell you to be honest. I feel like that era was what is going to get this house its legendary status, right? Like we're talking about coming up on 10 years. The house has hit a lot of milestones. But for you to get to that point, your house has had to endure something. You've had to overcome something, right? And that was our test, right? And it got dark. It got really dark in that time. Um and yeah, and I saw us starting to question ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And kind of question a lot of the decisions that we have made, kind of questioning, each other, questioning the foundation of the house. What is it sturdy enough? You know what I'm saying? That there was a lot of things that happened in that time. And I think that once we really sat down and had to like really start affirming ourselves, giving ourselves, and really, kick back, like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get back to the basics, right? And that is what the Chanel ball was. The Chanel ball was us, it was our response to everything that had happened, right? And I think that um it was our response to everything that happened, and it was honestly, we came and did what we did, but we didn't even put our best foot forward. But it showed us what it looks like when we come together and we need to stand together, and you know what I'm saying, what it looks like when this house needs to do what it needs to do. And everybody else saw what that looked like.
Lawrence, you said it got real dark in that period, right?
Hmm.
It got really, really dark, didn't it? Number one on the
Oh no, yeah, I
list.
mean, no, it did. It got, and that's what I'm saying. And that night, that that night, like I said, the Chanel ball. When, like, I like to get into I like to say I'm authentically ballroom. Like, I get into all the nuances, the back things that people don't see, the back stories, the all, like, I like all of those things, right? People were talking shit about the House of Tisci during that time. Oh, the people was, hold on. The people were talking shit during that time. The people were leaving. I mean, hell, baby, it was like you wake up every morning, somebody was gonna check who left. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people were doubting us, they were reading us, they were, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not, and they were doing it to us as a house, they were doing it to us as individuals in the house, really trying to break us all the way down. You know what I'm saying? From the attacks on Gunner, the attacks on Giselle, the attacks on Pampers, you know what I'm saying, to the literally real time list of people and what was going on with people leaving the house and all of this stuff. The people were at us. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like immediately when we stepped in the ball. If I'm not mistaken, we took the first trophy of the night, dog, right? Immediately when we stepped into the building, it changed. The passing of the crown from Giselle to Sade was a message heard through ballroom. Number one, when Giselle, no shade, when Giselle hit the floor and ran through every motherfucking overall mother who dared stepped on the floor, that sent a message to ballroom. Okay, when we were able to sit there and pass a crown from the two bitches that they said that they wanted to see on the floor, and the crown went from one to another, that sent a message to ballroom. You get what I'm saying? And so the fact that, you know what I'm saying, the Tisci's, it's the message that was sent. All questions that needed to be answered. How did we feel about one another from the list? You know what I'm saying? And all of these things, and were we gonna be able to do that? All of those questions were answered that night. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have to go all of these things because now we talk about all of these little responses that we had planned to do online. None of them would have hit the way that hitting that floor and getting on their ass hit. You know what I'm saying? And then to come back, I'll wait till we get to all those other things. But the way that we have been, yeah, the way that we have been showing up at these last things and these last couple of balls is what I want to continue to see us do going into 2026.
With that being said, everything that you guys all said, going in 2026, first and foremost, I want to talk about what in 2025. Thank you to all of the House of Tisci members that stayed through that.
You still stayed.
Dark time. And you guys are the tried and true people, the people that stood 10 toes down, because I know for a fact it wasn't an easy situation. I know that you guys were wary. I know that you guys had questions. I know that you guys were unsure. I know that you guys probably wanted to leave. And this goes out to all of the Tiscis from east to west to even internationally. Absolutely. I understand that, and I want to say thank you so much for standing 10 toes down and believing in your guys' leadership and believing in your guys' house members and believing in your guys' overall parents and chapter parents, because you guys are truly the MVPs of this house. We cherish each and every one of you guys. And going into 2026 and piggybacking off of what I just said about cherishing each member in this house is the fact that I want us to start being more connected to each other, which will go into why Sade is such a perfect fit with this house right now, and how she entered the fold, and how she added the link that the members needed.
But before we go into that though, I just would like to say shout out to all of you all, because we all stayed. Like, we all stayed, and we all had been in other situations where we had to go. You know what I'm saying? And so we all knew, we all had, first of all, we all had the experience to go anywhere we wanted to go, to get up, pack our bags, and go anywhere we wanted to go, unlike some members in the house. Also, we all had been through the trauma of doing this before too. And so to stay and deal with that trauma again, it took a lot for me. So I know it took even more for y'all. So shout out to y'all. So
thank you for saying that as well. And also, again, yes, thank you to all of the house leaders, because baby, that was a time. And also, just finishing off that, it's just, I'm so glad where we are now with the Giselle, and how smooth that transition was, and how understanding that transition was. And finally putting a pin on 2025, Giselle, you are amazing. Everything that you have done on and off the floor, and how much and how hard it was for you, and how difficult it was for you to be adjusted to ballroom culture, because it's different from pageantry, but it's the same animal, but just a different setting. So I just want to say thank you so much for being the strong Black trans woman that you are, and showing the fuck out, baby. And when I tell you, hold on, your moments and everything that you contributed to ballroom will go down into the test of time. They will be recreating them, from your positions to your little isms that you do, to your looks. And shout outs to you for being such a staple in this community already, and the way that you handed that down to Sade, magnificent.
And she predicted that she predicted when Sade was a whole nother house, that she would be in the position that she is now.
Now, since we're on the Sade and the Giselle thing, this house has an understanding, from my knowledge, that house overall parents and even leaders in positions, we have a certain time frame. Is that correct or is
That's
that
true.
not correct?
That's correct.
That's
So
what we would like.
right. So the time so the time frame situation is where we believe, or I think that we believe, that house leaders and overall parents have a time frame to guide the next generation. We do not want to be like certain other houses. Like, for example, we're not like a Harold that will be in a position for decades and still lead his house in an amazing way and accomplish many great things, but we're just not that type of level where we're going to have one person holding the reins like that, because I believe having a house and guiding the next generation to carry on the legacy would only be better for your establishment, for your baby, for your thing that you cherished forever and that you created. So in my opinion, I am so glad that we have members that understand that and leadership understands that, and we groom our members to be leaders. So what do you guys think about that?
I think legacies and other houses should do what they're doing. Whatever it is you want to do that over there. Um, I can speak for us. Well, no, let me answer your question truthfully. Yes, all these fucking dinosaurs need to get out of the way. Ballroom has changed, it's constantly changing, it's evolving, and it's different. And that requires those of us who are aging out. I don't want to say aging out of ballroom, but those who have been in ballroom for quite some time. There becomes a point when it's like your skill set, your freshness, your eyes, your viewpoint isn't what's going to push the culture forward anymore. You now just become a gatekeeper and you become someone that's latching on to a time that is past. Right? I look at ballroom like I look at other structures like politics and stuff. There's something to be said about an 80 something year old person being in the White House leading a country that has most of its people under 40, right? There's just a complete disconnect there. And it also says something too about power. If you at a certain point after 5 years of leadership having solidified your legacy in this house as a leader and what that era of your reign looks like, then maybe we don't need another 5 years of wasted time, right? So it doesn't take that long, especially in the pace that ballroom moves at now, to solidify a legacy. As you said with the Giselle, Giselle has come into ballroom under 5 years, done what it took other girls in the '90s a decade to do. Right, because she's operating in a very real fast time with social media. She can come in, make a moment, make a moment, make a moment, and you've done that. So I think it speaks to the insecurity of leaders that are of a certain age that cannot pass on leadership. It actually speaks to a lack of their leadership. They think that it's showing that they're a good leader that they're standing in place. For me, it shows a lack of leadership because you were not able to groom your replacements. Right? A parent is not going to always be a parent. The goal for me is, as a parent, is to be a grandparent at some point, a great grandparent. If I'm still trying to father in my 60s instead of grandfather in my 60s, then I failed as a father.
And then with saying that again, I agree with what you just said. It's just the fact about this is how I would like my house to be. How Harold runs his house and the house of Balenciaga. That's great. That works. I'm nothing to do with that. It's just I personally don't want to see that in my house. I personally don't want to see my leaders not groom somebody else to take the reins in the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Lawrence.
Well, I want to add one more thing. I'm sorry, I'll leave my plane. And because it kind of ties back to the Milan thing, right? I think, and it also ties back to why older houses or legacy houses, I don't think are letting go of leadership because there is a fear that you may do something to shake the boat, right? Part of the reason why Milan came into overall leadership is because it was past the time for Mark to step down as overall father. And so we needed to figure out what the next move was. So we were searching for that both internally and externally. We're the type of house we prefer to promote within, but at the point of an overall father, we didn't quite yet have a male figure that we thought that we could necessarily promote within the house at the time. So we took a risk, right? And that risk led to the shit show that it did. Right, but we're stronger because of it. You cannot be afraid of a quick death and persist a slow death, right? Because when you're afraid to make change, you have a slow and antagonizing death. If the shit gonna die, try something and let it die. But it also tests your perseverance. It tests what you're truly made of. As Lauren said earlier, we came out on the other side of this, I think, at a much better house than we were prior to Milan. We're stronger now in ways because of the test of a Milan, right? But in going through that, it also let us think about the next move, which was, okay, now it's also time to replace our overall mother. Let's be more methodical about it. Let's think about that, right? So we learn. We're constantly learning. One thing that Pampers and I talk about, and I'll land this plane, is we're not afraid of going in the wrong direction. The mistake is not getting off the train at the next stop and going in the opposite direction. Because the longer you stay on that train, the further you get from your stop. Right. So I'm never afraid to try and do something. I am afraid of us ever becoming complacent and sticking with something because we're afraid to try something.
Yeah. Okay, so Lawrence, what do you think about the time period as far as like having parent like a leadership position?
I feel like that we have addressed that. Okay, that is a problem, right? But I think it's also fair to address why that is even what it is, right? Because I myself, my first house was Ebony. That's a legacy house, a very traditionally ran house, right? A lot of people there sitting in positions for many years, right? Before passing torches along, and I think that the reason that a lot of these houses or not, I'm not going to say that, but legacy houses had probably have had the issue with passing the torch along, because you have to look at the generation that were in control of those houses, right? The generations that were in control of those houses did not know what came beyond that. What was the next step? Where do I go? I don't want to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Um, because we put this stigma on age in this scene, to where it's like you're supposed to hit this number. We don't know what that number is, and then automatically you're just supposed to be over the scene and vanish and disappear and go and live this life, right? But you dedicated, you know what I'm saying? You've dedicated 20 to 30 years of your life to this people or to this community, and yet one day, because you've hit this age, you're supposed to walk away. And I don't think that that's really, I know that that's not realistic, right? But then on the second side of that, right, nobody from that generation saw what that age was because they were dying. We are now entering the first no, let me not. We're not entering anymore because it's gone. We have experienced the first generations, and now generations that are hitting senior citizen status, that are within this community, right? We're seeing what it looks like to be that age, and people are finding their space. They're the same way we had these pioneers that had to pioneer all of this stuff in ballroom. They never thought about pioneering the the next leg of this thing, you right, or where you go, your retirement thing, or what that looks like, or you know what I'm saying, like what does the what was in the property management thing, we have senior living. What does the senior living sector of ballroom look like, right? Like, how do we take care of our own? Oh no, like now we actually have to do that. So I think that that's going on to a whole other topic, but I think that that is honestly where that rooted from. A lot of them were scared. They didn't want to not be relevant anymore. They didn't want to not be in. They wanted to preserve that for as long as they could. And in a result of that, yes, there was the lack of, you know, grooming the next generation to be able to take it, or there was having them on hold for so long that now when you want to give it up, they don't want it, and now they haven't gone in the result of and groomed the next chapter. So now you don't got nobody to pass it on to, and then you stuck.
Lawrence said a few things. I'm gonna start out by saying this is 2026 is my last year being a father because my
Mm-hmm.
contract is expired. right? And so
Right.
let's start off there.
Okay.
Let's start
Yeah.
off there. The only
Thank you,
reason
sister. I dragged you kicking and screaming into that
what
contract. You
Okay.
fulfilled it. Thank
contract,
you, sir.
and I
It,
made
it
sure
took me
that I
forever to
put
get her
the
signed it.
provisions in there when you dragged me kicking and screaming. And so I'm dawning on my 5th year, and I'm trying to get up out. Like Giselle got up out, I'm trying to get up out. So we're gonna see what happens.
So now when you're like, okay, well, my expiration date is here and that's great, and you're still going to be in the establishment, how do you figure out who is going to be next in line? Which is a good question for you, because you are hitting at that 5-year mark where we kind of agree, like, okay, well, that's usually the time period. So what do you do when you don't see no one that's going to be able to fill that role in your chapter? Or do you look elsewhere that's out of your house? Do you look somewhere that's in a different house to kind of like see what's going on? Like, what do you do in that position?
So here's where I could halfway agree with this holding on to power thing. Not to say that who we originally spoke about, like not to say that Harold was in this position, because I think Dante would have made a great overall father a very long
Shout outs
time
to
ago.
Dante. Shout outs to
Shout out to
Dante.
Dante. Shout out to
Baby.
Dante.
Love you, Dante.
Baby. Shout out to Dante. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like maybe maybe I felt like this a year ago, right? You know what I'm saying? That I was ready, right? And maybe I felt like a year ago that somebody else was ready to take my spot. What I've discovered is that when we sometimes a lot of that is us ready to go and ready for somebody else to take over, but they don't really be ready. And that's what I had to reconcile with right in this moment, me being completely transparent and honest, is I wanted to give up this position maybe 6 months ago, but the person that I wanted to give it up to was not ready. So in that moment, do you say, hey, take this anyway and watch that shit go to shreds? Do you, hey, let me go outside to get an outside influence who may come in and switch around like Milan did the whole trajectory of what's going on in your chapter, nevertheless the house? Or do you stand 10 toes down with the promise that you made to the house that you're in and hold off until you can securely know that your kids in your house are safe? And that's what I had to reckon with. And y'all see I'm still father, so y'all see the decision that
There you go. Right? There you go. And that's true. And
I'm not saying that everybody that's hanging and holding on to their titles have the integrity that I have to make those decisions, because that's not what's happening. However, that's why I'm still here, and that's why I'll be in this position another probably 6 months to a year. But I do think that there is a problem with that. But we also have to think that when these people got these positions, one, where did they come from? They came from a family of houses that had held on to that position for so long with a fist over it until they had to leave to start their own thing. And now, whether they know it or not, they're repeating the same things that they were taught. You know what I'm saying? It's like a learned pattern for them. You know what I'm saying? So they're not really realizing it, but they're doing the same thing that was taught. They're doing the same thing that was taught to them before. And then the other thing is people that come from that era. Okay, it's easy for us to become things now. It's easy to become a influencer. It's easy to become a position of power in your job. It's easy to get a job even for us now, a lot easier than it was then. So to hold a position of power, I hold several positions of power right now. New York City Father is just one of them. So you think about these people and you think about the positions of power that they hold in their life right now currently, and this might be what that position might be important to them because they have no other opportunities to hold those positions of power in their life. So they hold them and they guard them.
So speaking about holding them and guarding them, the House of Allure with L. what is that situation? What does that tell us? What is that? What was your first thought process when you heard about it? Because again, we're gonna always talk about Tisci situation, and if you guys want us to talk about a Tisci situation, let us know down in the comments, because we're not gonna be afraid. We're
We're
not
not
gonna be
opposed
shy
to it.
about. Yeah, we're not opposed to any of those topics. It's just let us know, because I'm just going off of just our interactions right now. But let us know down in the comments what you guys want to hear about Tisci situations. But as far as like, we're also going to talk about ballroom and ballroom houses, what's going on, what just happened. So the House of Allure had a situation where, Ricky and Al and all the other things, obviously some people leaving. What do you guys see in that? What do you guys acknowledge about that? How did you guys perceive that whole situation that went down?
Okay, I have something interesting to say before anybody say something, because I'm gonna say mine real quick and I ain't gonna say nothing else. I always told y'all that Cordy was gonna do something very interesting involved, and I never knew what it was going to be. I did it, and I love Cordy down. And Cordy might not have been the right fit for this house. Cordy might not be the right fit for no house. But what Cordy did was, because let's be honest. If Cordy had never made that live, Ricky would have never left the house of Allure. Ricky would have stuck by them whole side forever. She would have drowned there, died there. Cordy, Cordy's, what is this? I don't even know what to call it, because he don't even know what to call it, because nobody knows what to call it. It's just like a big ball of, you can never understand where it's coming from or figure it out. Finally did something like I knew it would do, that would cause something so monumental in ballroom that we would never be able to ignore again. And so shout out to Cordy and shout out to Ricky. I
Did
believe this is
Cordy
going to
did
be
Cordy
something terrible.
lie?
Ricky said Cordy didn't lie.
Let me
Okay.
say this in response to what Yo-Yo
That's what
just
Ricky
said.
said. Ricky said everything that Cordy said in his live was the truth. Shout out to Ricky for
Okay.
finally
In
doing what
response
I
to
feel like you should have did many moons ago.
Mm-hmm.
so several things, right? To your point, Valerie, my thoughts about it. Again, I've been a little bit removed, but I've been trying to keep up. Al and the House of Allure is just another thing about legacy leadership and not being able to let go. Even cutting your nose to spite your face. Al's not on the floor. He's not a relevant name to this generation of ballroom. He's relevant to our generation. We know who he is. When he walks out there, no one knows him, but he still wants to hold on to this power. And it has really stunted the growth. Um, Going to Lawrence, what Lawrence was saying about people being past torches or not being past torches for so long. Even Ricky, this was not a time to pass the torch to a Ricky. Ricky should have already been passed the torch 3 times now in the House of Allure, right? Because of it, like, so that's also the thing when you, like Lawrence was saying, when you hold on too long. But to the Cordy thing, and I want to say this, I know people know that Cordy and I've had our run-ins, but I will say I give him props and respects for being. I think maybe this is what you're looking for, Yo-Yo. He's a disruptor, right? He's gonna come in and shake up things. The thing about a fire, sometimes a forest fire is needed because it needed to get rid of the brush. Sometimes a forest fire can burn down people's houses, right? But Cordy is a fire. It might clear some brushing or it might burn some shit down. It's a risk you're gonna take. So I personally don't mind a Cordy. So shout out to you, Cordy. You're probably making another laugh about me, my mom, and everything after this. But go right ahead. I enjoy you. Um, but um,
I'm
but no, I
talking
like
about
disruptors, right? Like disruptors change industry, right? Like Uber was a disruptor to the taxi cab system, right? You know, just different things. Airbnb was a disruptor to the hotel system and how we structured that. And so there are benefits that come from disruptors. But then there are people like our president who's a disruptor who's literally ruining the country, right? But you need people to be disruptors and be complacent, right? We talked about that, like bringing in Milan. It was a disruptor. We got the course correct. Bringing in Sade and passing that crown over was a disruptor to ballroom. We're banking on it being a great disruption, a good shakeup to say, hey, you don't need a mother that's a 10-year legend, been in the game for 20 years to oversee your house. Like it's time for new leadership to be able to take over the reins. So that's a disruption. But yeah, shout out to Ricky and the agents, if you're looking for members. I'm letting you know.
Shout out to the agency.
But I'm sorry. I did want to piggyback on something. I know I can get a little bit long winded about what because Lawrence talked about it. I don't want to brush over it. When we talk about like what's next for those who are aging out, right, and pioneering the next stage of what that looks like and being on the forefront of that, I want to toot my own horn and say I've been kind of dealing with that as a pioneer of what it looks like to retire from ballroom. And I get a lot of flack from ballroom leadership about, girl, are you retired? Do you care? Do you not care? Are you in? Are you out? I don't know. I had no one to teach me what retirement from a community that I love and dedicated 20 years to looks like. Does it look like I just got to disappear? Or does it look like maybe I don't walk balls? Or maybe I walk one ball every couple years? Like, what does that look like? And it's a new space that we're navigating. And I think it's a responsibility of this generation to show the next generation what it can look like. Because, like, as Lauren said, before our generation, when someone retired, it was because we were putting them in a casket. Or they just said fuck ball when they
But you
walked
there,
away and
but you in the
disappeared.
thing.
Right? But what
Honestly,
Retire
like
for
I
the Lord
retired
and retire.
because I haven't walked the ball in like 3 years, 2 years, y'all. 3
Exactly.
years. Honest, but that does not mean I'm not
Yeah.
okay.
That's not
Actively in the
retired.
scene. I throw balls. I support my house. I support people. I'm in a position, but bitch, I ain't walking.
I use like an LL Cool J as an example, right? He's retired from all intents and purposes from hip hop, but he's gonna show up to award shows when he wants to. And if he chooses to drop another single next month, he's LL fucking Cool J. He can do that. But in terms of being this active force and making decisions and moving and doing all those kind of things, to me, I'm starting to realize for me that's retirement looks like. As people know, I've retired from ballroom, but I'm more active in my house now than I was in that phase. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be retired. I'm gonna do. Because I'm still dedicated to my legacy. I'm still dedicated to the house. But in terms of needing to be on calls with who's being deemed next and caring about the latest tea and gossip from this house and that house, I'm retired from that type of active ballroom play. Right. So that's what the definition for me looks like.
Yeah, I think I have an unpopular opinion with it. Although I do,
No, go ahead. This is why we wanted you on the
I
panel.
do understand Ricky in a lot of the way that she felt um, with it. Um, I have to look at it in the reality, right? Or I look at it like this. The House of Allure to me is one of those houses that made a decision to stick to exactly who and what they were. Even this house has we say we are a boutique, or we may have started that. It got away from that. This house is not a boutique house anymore, right? And I think people need to understand we are still small in numbers. We're not a massive house. I think last time I checked the group, it was like 100 members total. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, no, we're small. No. We're small. Boutique is 1 to 2 members, one maybe 2 members per category in the whole house. That's a boutique house. And what I'm going to say is, and what I'm going to say is not even the fact that they stood on being a boutique house, is that I just feel like that Allure has, and to be funny, it's like this, right? I'm okay with that because I feel like there should be a representation of everybody in ballroom within a house, right? There should be a house for everybody that wants to be in ballroom to be able to go to. And there are some houses that some people who want to just come to the ball done. They don't really want to communicate with a bunch of people. They don't really want to do a bunch of pay no dues. They don't want to do any of that. They just want to come like that, and that's the House of Allure. And they ain't changed. They don't want to do new school ballroom. They don't want to transcend into this major organization that does all of this stuff. No, we want to be a selective group of girls that usually come in cohesive looks, and we go to the ball and we leave, and that's it. You didn't have Ricky, who was a phenomenal talent, who needed to spread wings, who needed to do all of these things. And you could, and a house like Allure, which was a one of a one, is great to have that type of thing. But when you are also don't want to grow and do all of these things, it's sad though, but this does not fit you. This space does not. And so I think that is one of the things that was the issue between with the house. I mean, I don't think that the House of Allure necessarily has. They know who they are. They've been exactly who they always been, and it has not changed. And I think that is what is Ricky is upset with, is that it has not changed. But again, if you go to the founder and he says, "Baby, my house was set to not change," then the house was just set to not change. You should have went back to see what the laws of the house said. Was this vision of this house to grow? Some houses, most houses say, "Yeah, yes, I would love to see my house grow into, this thing." And some people say, "No, this is what my house is, and this is all I ever wanted to be, and this is what it's gonna stick to,
You
and
don't
this
let
legacy,
now. You
and
do
that's
not
it."
let Jason and Ghana say that. This is what my house is, and this is what it's
Oh
going to
no,
be.
but,
Do you hear
no,
him?
the house of Tisci. The house of Tisci is not that house. We take in the thought, we welcome the thought of change. We welcome the thought of growing. Although the vision, see, that's the difference. And I don't want to get the things confused, right? Because for a stable house, you must have vision. You must have a concrete vision. You must have what that is. And I don't think that should ever change, right? But you know what I'm saying? How and what we do to get to this thing or this, that might think. But the principles, that's what should I say. The principles of the house should never change, right? And so that is what that is what Allure is giving. Now let's get into the nuances of the situations. Okay? Now, yeah, now as we get into the nuances, yeah, okay, because that was the concrete. I don't think it's nothing wrong with Allure. There's nothing wrong with Allure because that's who they want to be and that's who they can be. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
But
The nuances of the situation is this.
However, comma.
However, comma,
in spite of,
I'm going to say this. Ricky has trailblazed again. What Ricky has represented is do not go where you are not invited. Do not go where you do not fit in. Don't do it. There's too many houses of ballroom for you to go and find your tribe. Instead of you trying to get this house to shape and fit you, you got to be able to fit into the house. And it's tricky, right? Because there's this thing of this Cinderella story, which I myself have,
yeah,
been the
Okay.
face of.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Here we
saying?
go. Here we go.
yeah.
But there's only a select. But even in the Cinderella story, the shoe must fit.
The shoe must fit.
The shoe
The
must
shoe
fit.
must fit. Is it a
Come
big
on,
shoe?
Lawrence.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it a big shoe?
The shoe may change you, and you may change the shoe, but the shoe must
But the
fit.
shoe must fit. And the thing about it is, one thing that I'm gonna say with that is, and I say that I feel like Ricky is the poster child that it took 22 years, 22 years to really say, well, damn, this enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of
And a
times,
lot of girls are following his
yeah,
footsteps
a
that
lot of
have been in houses for many, many years.
yeah, a lot, and you're
Watch,
chasing the
it's
thought.
gonna start. It's gonna be a thing.
And because y'all, we a lot of times, of course, people buy into. I mean, I get it, right? Like I said, it's the nuances of it all, right? Ricky saw this house where fab people reside. You know what I'm saying? And it's this fab thing, and I want to be fab, and I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? But hear what they saying fab looks like. They saying fab looks like you gotta dress like this. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And you gotta do this and that and that. And if you can't check off all those things on the box, ain't no need for you to go. Ain't no need for you to go. See, and that's just what it is. Because see, it could have been another house that say, hey, these are fab girls, but they don't make you check those things off. Or maybe they can help you do it. Like, there's different. Find your tribe. That's all I'm going to say. Find your tribe, and it shouldn't take you 22 years to realize that you made a bad mistake. And I'm gonna have to be fair because there were too many signs along the way that said get out. And people have to understand that, you know what I'm saying? There's a price to pay. There is a price to pay. If you know that you don't got the things that you, I'm a realist. I'm a realist, right?
Just call it for what it is. Ricky didn't have the image that Al liked and
you
wanted.
wasn't never gonna have
Ricky
that image unless you were able to have that image that he wanted. And if you wasn't given the image that he wanted, it wasn't no need of you even trying to come with nothing else.
But I agree with that. Ricky never had the image that Elle wanted, and that's just what it was. Ricky never felt like he belonged. Ricky felt like an outsider, and Ricky should have left a long time ago. Shout out to you, Elle, for creating such an amazing, unstoppable, fabulous house of the House of Allure. You did what you needed to do for your time, for your efforts, for everything that you've done. But Ricky created something. She took that and she created something called the agency, which a lot of people are very, very hyped for. Shout outs to you, Ricky, for that. Yes, you are.
I want to reveal something.
Ricky had to get to that point. Gunner and Pampers had to get to that point. People, we all as leaders, you know what I'm saying? We all have to get to the point where we find ourselves and find what we're meant to lead, right? I don't think I'm meant to lead an entire house. But we get to those points, you know what I'm saying, built on the experience that we have in this thing called ballroom. And the fact, I just look at it, all of them, whether it's Tisci, Margiela, the agency, Balenciaga, they all came from something where somebody felt like there needed to be something else. And it's all created this bigger legacy and a bigger family for ballroom. And so I'm appreciative of it all, no matter what.
I want to reveal something I never told anyone. I want to say shout out to Al. I have this picture when I first moved to New York. It's me, it's Al, it's Eric Allure, it's some other people. Because I thought in my head I was auditioning to be an Allure. I was actually considering not being a Milan and going to Allure. And Al told me I was 175 pounds. I am in my Rick Owens. It is a skinny, small top, all the things. And Al told me I was too fat. I said, well, fuck.
Al, baby, will be so honest and so real with you. Shout outs to you. I love you some Al personally. I have no ill will towards Al. I love Al. It is what it is with that. But let's move on because we have another topic that we're talking about. We talked about Tisci topics. We talked about other ballroom houses topics. And now let's talk about a hot topic in social media right now. And this is a video that I clipped and I wanted to show you guys what you guys think about this. And also people that are watching, you guys can comment down below your thoughts and opinions about this video that you're about to see right now regarding about gay men.
I have seen jokes. I have seen them start little and getting big to the point where people are doing it so much. The men are doing it so much. They are not know kids are watching y'all. They are making it okay. They are making gay okay, and it's not okay. They are teaching the little boys that it's okay and that we're just playing. Men don't play. When you ain't gay, you ain't gay. You don't play. You don't play. And it go way past playing. It starts with a joke and then the joke gets bigger. And the little joke turns into hand movements, facial expressions, body language. Then it turns to you actually looking like a girl, acting like a girl, talking like a girl. Then it turns into you talking about what you want to do with men. It's not a joke. The devil is moving in the streaming world and targeting men, and they're not even seeing it. They just going with it. They going with the flow, and now it's making it okay. It's not okay. I'm playing to each other, playing with each other's little thing. I've seen it all on stream. You can't tell me ain't no man did it. Every man did it on social media. And if you feel offended by it, that's on you. I'm not calling nobody out. I'm just letting it be known. Who I'm calling out is the devil. I ain't calling no streamer out. The devil is who I'm calling out. And I see that you using these boys and these men because you see how much influence they have, and you see how much God blessed them with a platform, and you came and creeped in, and now everybody's acting like a woman.
Everyone's acting like a woman but her. She doesn't know her place. As a woman, she should sit down and let men do what men do. That's what I feel about it. Oh, wait, I sound just as stupid and ignorant as her when I said that, right? Like this bitch is sitting up here with someone else's hair in her head, nails by made by acetone, but she's trying to tell us what's right and wrong. Like this homophobic, transphobic rant that black men are going on. I understand that you feel that the dating pool that you should have access to is in representation of what you think that you deserve. But black gay men are not the issue, love. If you can't find a straight man that entertains you in the way that you want to, the problem is you, not gay men. I'm so sick of people thinking gay is something you can turn on and turn off. I can pretend to be straight. We have a category in ballroom called realness, where we do the things that she's talking about, but in reverse. We go out into the world, we pretend to be straight, we put on the voice, we do all that, and no matter how much we play at that, we still like booty and dangling. No matter how much a person pretend, they can't. There's no playing so much that you become gay. This whole "you become gay" thing is some dumb ass ignorant hotel Christian dogma rhetoric. She talking about calling up the devil. Bitch, go. The call is coming from within the house. You want to call out the devil? Start in your own house. The call is coming from within the house, ma'am. You are anti-black. Your nails don't grow like that. Your hair doesn't look like that. The makeup isn't a representation of your skin tone. Like there's a lot of anti-blackness and other things that she needs to unpack. She needs to stop worrying about gay men and start worrying about her man.
Well, what she said was that the devil is moving through streaming, and they are basically what she's saying is, I guess, that these boys, these straight boys, are playing so gay that they are, guys, I guess, quote unquote, becoming gay. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's dumb as fuck. Um, but I think what she's saying is dumb as hell. But what I am going to say is they do that though. Not they become gay. Not like okay, like not. So
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Land the plane. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm with you. I'm with you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
right.
ahead.
So I'm gonna say
Girl,
this.
this is what happens when you let a realness boy answer this
Not
question.
not they do become gay off of doing it, but I'm gonna say this. There's they clout chasing. Like gay is a money market. Like we've always said it, right? Like gay anything is a money market. So now you have these straight streamers doing all this gay shit. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's weird. But I think it's weird for another reason that she thinks it's weird. I don't think that they're gay. I just think that it's weird that y'all motherfuckers is out here acting like this for attention. Her argument is that streaming is moving through. I mean, that the devil is moving through streaming, and that straight men are going out here perpetrating as gay men to the fact that they're turning into gay men. I just think that it's weird that they try to capitalize off of the gay community and just off of being gay. I think that that is weird. I think the older that I get, I do notice that just guys in general, people are just sexually fluid. And I think that's just what society is coming into a realization, right? Like sexuality is so fluid right now. Like it's just so much. And I think that everybody's gagging. Like everybody thought that there was just like the majority of the population was straight when and just, you know, whatever straight is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they just thought it was this guideline. This is what straight is. And a lot of times these boys can be expressing a lot of stuff that they want to express that's quote unquote centered around gay, and they're not gay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, because this boy did this does not mean he wants to have sex with men. This is how he acts. This is how he dresses. This is how he does this. Yet he likes to have sex with women. So what does that mean? He's straight, right? So it's just like there's like people are just, we're now on social media and where we are just putting a lot of stuff that has happened for all of these years right in front of our faces, and people are just acting weird. You cannot turn gay and all of this stuff. And I don't know. I just think that it's weird. It's this thing about people are realizing that every man does not have to be masculine. That's another thing that people are having a hard time accepting, that every straight man doesn't necessarily have to even be masculine. To be completely honest with you, right? Like we give women the freedom to express themselves in a large range than we do with men, right? Before we start taking away their femininity, or before we start taking away the fact whether they're gay or straight. Like literally, a woman has to tell you out of her mouth, "I fuck women." You know what I'm saying? And hell, even when they tell you that, niggas still think that they got a chance they can do a little something with the right thing. They can come the right way and do that. But as soon as a man say, you know what I'm saying? I fuck men, or I think he cute, or I this is like a woman can slob a woman down in the bar and do all of this kind of shit. Oh, that's sexy. This is this. It's not gay though. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as another man sit up and be like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a handsome man. Oh shit, handsome? What the fuck you mean you call a man handsome? What the fuck you gay motherfucking faggot? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just gets crazy. So I don't know. I just think she need to. I do, align with she needs to shut the fuck up. I just think everybody needs to shut the fuck up. I think everybody needs to stop. I think it's so fucking weird. Like, do y'all really understand what the conversation behind sexuality is really about? We really are be sitting here discussing about who the fuck we fucking, bitch. Like, what in the fuck? Like, what like
Yeah.
even coming
Calm
out?
down,
Like, what is that?
calm down.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Don't
Like,
get
I gotta
Okay.
excited.
tell y'all
Calm
who
down.
I'm fucking.
Okay, I get it. Well, you calm down, Yo-Yo. What
Calm
do you? What
Yeah,
is
I'm
your
sorry.
intake on
Yeah,
that?
I'm listen.
down. Okay. I got like maybe 3 quick points that I'm gonna try to get through. One, let's the devil. She mentioned the devil. So from a Christianity point, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. Ay, 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 ay. The devil is everywhere. He's not just on streaming platforms. He not just the devil is every fucking where. He gonna take every fucking opportunity he can to succeed in his mission. So yes, she's right. The devil is on streaming platforms. However, what I will say is this: gay used to be an identity. Gay is now a trend. Gay is no longer an identity. Gay is, and that's because of social media, right? The same thing that she was on, the same platform that she was on to speak her mind is the same. And she spoke those views to get the likes that she needed to make her platform succeed. And this is exactly what the devil told her to do. And this is the exact same devil that tells the boys to do what she says that they're doing. The devil is in social media. So I don't want her to think that the devil is not at her doorstep too, telling her to say the things that she's saying and telling her to do the things that she's doing, because that's all of the devil's way.
I can guarantee you, Yo-Yo, she thinks it's the Lord telling her she's going to get
Oh,
Lord.
she thinks it's the Lord, but
Okay.
it's not.
So
And,
okay,
and,
okay, okay.
I know this is hot topic, sis. I know we supposed to have like the little one-liners and stuff like this, but as you guys know, like the representation and the proliferation of black males in general and as an identity is a big platform for me. Women like her are very fucking dangerous. Women like her are the reason that DL men are not coming out. They're the reason that little boys are offing themselves and depressed because what she talked about, if you listen to it, yes, she at the end of it, she's talking about becoming gay. But really what she was talking about is just human expression. And these people are expressing themselves in a way that makes her feel uncomfortable. She would rather them not do that. And so she says it's the devil making them do that. She wants to deny people the autonomy to their human expression, which we know in the black community is a big reason for our unaliving, which is a big reason for our violence. A lot of the violence that I think that comes from black men to black women is because they're not free to express. So they can't communicate, they can't talk about it, they can't laugh at a joke, they can't, hell, I don't even know the long list of things that I don't even know the long list of things that black men can't do anymore. I saw the other day, if you own an Audi, you're probably gay. If you wipe your butt, if you eat a salad at dinner, right? Like all these long lists of what this very rigid thing that black men have to be is the reason that black men and black boys are unalive in their fucking selves and they don't have the mental capacity and the EQ to actually communicate in a healthy and effective manner. So they become violent, right? She's the same type of woman that would be upset and not want to get beat. not recognizing that her behavior is what perpetuates the violence of Black men. She's
I
very
just find it
dangerous.
so crazy that we can have all these conversations about Black men and what they say and what they do, but women are free to kiss each other, eat pussy, do whatever the fuck they want to do, while we gotta take criticism for anything. I mean, we can't even speak a certain type of way, but women can wear pants, shorts, they can be masculine, aggressive, everything they want to be, and it's not a problem. But if a man shows femininity, respect, culture, or even friendship toward a thing that is in disagreement with anything that a Black woman feels is wrong, then we're accosted. And I have no want for that. I have no want, and I have no understanding for that.
Let's just broaden the scope about like gay men in general. Can a person be straight and gay for pay?
Well, it depends on how you define gay. I think can a man engage in what we consider gay intercourse and not be a homosexual? Sure, right? Because the dick can poke where it needs to poke to make that coin. But that's what we've been trying to tell the world for decades now. Our sexual identity isn't based around our sexual acts. It's around our desires and who we want to have those acts with, who we desire to have them with, right? A nun who's never had sex can still be a lesbian or be gay or be straight. If she were to have sex, who would she desire to have it with? So yes, someone who desires to be with a woman, to have children, to have a family, a heteronormative family, can engage in gay sexual acts and still be straight.
America kills me. A sinner can be a preacher. A felon can be a president. We got like all these rules that we break daily. Like, and then we still want to hold other people in regards to these rules.
I know that, but my thing is like I don't know if I can get on board with because if we're gonna use labels, which I don't really like to even use labels, but people are always so focused on a label. But if you do focus on a label, and if somebody were to ask me, are straight men that do gay for pay gay, I'm gonna say yeah, because that's gay. Like, what is the what
So
is the
let me
word
ask
to
you this
like,
in response to
like
that
what
though,
is so
Valerie,
what
right?
is
Because
so
again, let me ask you this because again, you're a woman, so I think there is going to be a way in which you
I'm
view
a
manhood and
transsexual. I'm
masculinity,
a
right?
transsexual. I'm
But
a
let me ask
transsexual.
you this then.
Wait,
Right.
and,
I mean,
and
no,
wait, she just said her line.
I'm a
We
transsexual.
all, we
Right.
all, we all, we all operate off labels. We
fair.
all operate off labels. What fucks us up is that we think that we're entitled to dissect someone or define
Yes, that's the
someone
issue.
else's label,
That's
and
the
that's
issue.
what fucks us up. We all operate. I'm a hymn queen. That's
I'm
my
always
label.
But
I'm always on the business of mind the business that pays you. Like that's just what it is
Yeah,
for
I
me
don't.
personally.
but what I'm
Whatever
thinking though,
Valerie's,
right?
I'm never
What
labeling Valerie. Whatever Valerie's label is her label. I don't need to label her, and I can accept
fair?
whatever
No,
her label is her label. But I
what
think
I
a
want to
lot of
get
us
to though,
can't do
right, is the equitability of language, right? So let's flip it on its head. I'm an attractive man. I got a nice little stick down there. Can I be straight for pay? Like if I was getting paid to fuck females, would you then say, "Oh, my brother is straight because he's having sex with
Who are
women"?
you to define what somebody wants to pay for with their money?
No,
No,
right.
what I'm
But
asking
You can
specifically
be,
is
because
if
anybody
I
can pay for
identify as a
anything.
heterosexual male, if I identify as heterosexual, but I'm getting paid to have sex with women, am I straight for pay? Is that a thing? Am I now straight?
you're saying that you're straight and that you're getting paid to have sex with women. You're straight for pay. That's what you're saying.
No. I'm saying what we're saying gay for pay is right are men who identify as straight or heterosexual, but they're getting paid to engage in gay sex. Because of that, some people say, well, then you're not straight for pay. You're actually just gay. What I'm saying is, if I identify as gay and I'm getting paid to have sex with women, am I straight for pay, or to that extension, am I just straight now? Right? Because if one is true in one direction, it needs to be true in the other direction.
Wait, okay, hold on.
No,
So
I
you're
get it. I
saying
get what
that
Gunner's
men,
saying.
Go ahead,
so
break.
you're
And
saying that
Hold on,
are
break
men
it down
that
for me,
have
then.
sex
Break that
with
down, because
men
I'm.
for money?
so he's saying is straight for pay a thing for gay
Yes,
men.
yeah,
Is straight for pay a thing.
sugar mamas, yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
I
Okay,
mean, you know
I
what? I'm
actually
gonna say
think that
this,
no, no,
and,
no, no,
and
no,
this
no.
is why
Do
I
we
think
not
it's
think
all
that men?
stupid.
Do we
Yeah, I
not
mean,
think that
I
straight
agree.
men will have sex with a gay man for money? I think that is possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he has to be gay. I think that a gay man can offer a straight man in need something that he needs, and he will have sex with him, not being gay, will have sex with that gay man to get what he needs.
right.
Because, bitch, I have done a lot of things for my needs.
Okay, I feel
Let's be clear.
no,
Mhm.
That don't define my identity. I have did a lot of straight things. I have did a lot of things for things that I need that don't define my identity. Can we all agree to that? Because
yes,
if we can't, I'll point it
yes,
out to all of
yes,
y'all.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We have.
And then mind you, I really want to put like a preference on this. Who gives a heck on who identifies as what? Like it is what it is.
That's
But
where that when you came to me, that was gonna be my thing.
hold on, Lauren. So my thing is, we just if since we're the reason why we're talking about it because it's the topic of the conversation. So this is why we kind of need to like use the language that is being used. So it's just
Right.
kind of like so we have a better understanding. So this is why we're talking about labels. But realistically, I personally don't care about the labels. Like, okay, girl, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're straight, you're straight. If you're bi, you're bi. If you're trans, you're trans. Like it is what it is.
And I also want to say that working in community, I've had to understand and learn a lot of labels a lot
Oh,
of times. And
yeah.
I mean, I work in community and I use these labels frequently. I just called somebody at an event the other day, it, because that's the label that they carry, it, right? I don't necessarily identify with
You know what? You know what? No,
it.
no,
Was
no.
it.
Wait.
That's what it told me that
No,
they identified as.
but no,
Was
but
it.
see, honestly, let's just be honest. And at this point, it comes to the point where, like, you know what? Great. If you want to correct me and say, great, I'm an it, okay, I'm gonna do that. But realistically, it's too like because then at the point it's like it makes a big thing. Like it's like, oh my goodness, like you're so
But
you're I
But
just
we open Pandora's box with they them. We open Pandora's box with cis and trans. So now we want to stop the train from going? No, we can't stop the evolution. Things are going to continue to grow and evolve, and either you can get on the train and kind of like that does not mean that you have to agree, but you can get on a train and identify people as what they want, right? That which has no bearing on who you are or who you identify as a person,
yeah,
right?
I disagree.
Or you can spend your life trying to argue to offend people.
right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I disagree. I think that with all things, yes, I do think that we can be elastic and stretch boundaries, but there still has to be boundaries in place, right? Like I'm not listening to someone tell me I identify as a car, call me a car. No, there are definitions. There are there are things
So
that exist,
everybody
right?
needs to identify to your boundaries.
No,
Is
No,
what
I
I
was
mean,
about to
no,
say
no,
because
no.
I've definitely heard of people
What are the
identifying with
boundaries?
stuff like
Who's making
trees
these
and all of
boundaries?
that.
Who's making these boundaries that you're talking
No,
about?
but Gunner, people are saying that they want to identify as a fairy, fairy. You know what I'm saying? Like they use these
Bitch, I
pronouns.
think I'm a vampire sometimes.
They do.
Girl.
They really do though.
And maybe this is where my retirement age is coming in. This is my over 40. Like maybe I'm getting old and I'm not that elastic. But just because I can jump doesn't mean I can fly, right? There's still a boundary. Yes, I can lift myself off the ground and jump, but that doesn't mean I'm flying. Right,
Yeah.
there's still a boundary, right? Just because
Just because they
you
flying
don't
don't
have to
mean you gotta
you don't
fly.
have to identify within the binary. We can be elastic with that, but you don't get to say you identify as something that has a clear cut definition, which is a tree. No, a tree is a thing, is an object. No, we know exactly what that definition is, right? The issue that we have around identifying the binary is because those definitions themselves are elastic and they change, so they don't have a rigid structure. But identifying as a
That's
vampire
the purpose of
means
the
that you are
That's
no,
the
no, no. But
purpose of it.
no, what I'm saying though listen what I'm saying though. When we say what is the definition of a man or a woman, right? There's this great ambiguity there. There is no ambiguity of what the definition of a car is or the definition of a vampire is. So you can identify as something that has a clear cut definition. Like
I
what are we
mean,
doing
kind of
here?
now there
Hold on,
is
hold on, hold
ambiguity around cars, because there's Jeeps, there are Jeeps and there are SUVs, and people don't know where to place them now, and so now they're making up new styles of cars.
I
Bitch,
can't.
we
So
never.
now
Let the
I
people
identify as the
evolve.
undead.
So you got
Got
to
it.
let the people evolve and not think and take out that it has
No,
to
everything's
be
not evolving.
SUV
Some things
for
are
you who you
devolving, bitch.
are.
If you identify as a toddler and you're a
Bitch,
full
when
grown
you
adult,
start
you
getting
have
offended by
devolved.
how people
Yes.
identify, then that means that it's
I didn't say
transitioning too
I
quick.
offended by it. I said some
Well,
stuff is
let them be
stupid.
who they want to be,
Are they
girl.
dumb or are they stupid? Like,
They're
come
No,
who
we
on,
they
looking
want
at
to
guys.
this.
be. And why does that make you think they're dumb and stupid?
No, but
Some
mind
stuff is just dumb. I don't get to
Not
identify
dumb,
as
girl. They're who
rich.
they want to
I
hold
don't
on,
get
be.
that. I can't. So because what you're saying is like what you're
Always
saying.
been a Lord in the
No,
house.
no. Listen, some things have clear cut definitions. I cannot
Girl,
feel
everything
small.
doesn't though. There
No,
are a lot of gray
wait. Let me
areas.
land. Let me land. I cannot identify. I cannot feel small in stature, but I don't get to tell people I identify as 6'5" because you can measure me and clearly see I am not 6'5". If you are standing in front of me, I can clearly see you are not a tree. Your leaves do not fall off. You do not have bark. You do not have roots going into the ground. You are not a fucking tree.
So, bitch, if you see a bitch with a wig on, parted, laced, melted, with a beard, she's clearly not a man or a woman. She's
Because those
whatever the
things don't
fuck
have clear
she want to be. So
definitions.
you stop identifying by what you see, girl, and let people be what they
No,
want to
those
be.
things don't have to, but you're making
Girl,
my
it don't
point.
have to be what you
You're
see, girl.
no, you're
It
making
don't
my
have to be
point.
what you see, Miss Donna.
no,
But
hold
you're
on,
making my point. Man
hold on,
and woman don't have clear definitions. A
hold on,
fucking tree and
hold
a vampire does.
hold on, Gunner, hold on. So I wanna go back. Let's just go back a little bit. So, Lawrence, do you think that a straight man is straight if he does gay for pay?
See, y'all, points were made. Okay, points have been made. I don't know.
No, be honest. Be honest.
I
Because
don't
Lawrence, do you
know.
say a
I mean,
straight they
because
gay?
points have been made to the point of saying because to Gunner's point, when I reverse the question and ask it the opposite way, I get stuck because is a straight man gay because he participated in a gay activity for this money? I think he is just as much as like Gunna said. A gay man would be straight because he fucked some pussy for some money. You know what I'm saying? Like to Yo-Yo's point, I've done some strange things for some change. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that I did not identify with. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I don't know. Why they can't just be bisexual? Why we got to jump all the way to them being gay? Maybe they were bisexual.
that could be your
Maybe, maybe they were the plus. I don't fucking
So,
know. I like, I
plus.
just,
Oh, that's in the deep end. The plus is in the deep end because the plus don't have no identity. The
yeah.
plus is just out there. Whatever they
No, the
want to
plus
do.
says I want to belong to something. I want to be oppressed too. Include me somehow. I don't know how, but include me.
include me in the money.
Oh,
That's
we're
it.
gonna on that. Now, me and Gunner agree on
Girl.
that. You can't be a plus.
Yeah.
But you
But
got
no,
Why
to
they
I
can't
do
be the
think though. I
plus?
do think though. I do think to Valerie's point in question, right? On a real note, I think it requires that we even re-examine ourselves and the rigid definition we have around heterosexuality as it pertains to men. Because for us, a man who has sex, like, and when I say us, I'm being speaking in general, right? We see a man have sex with a man one time, you can never be straight again. But we will allow for a woman to engage in sexual intercourse with a woman, and then be like, "Yep, I didn't like that. I'm gonna be strictly dickly going forward," and she's a straight woman. We don't question that. There's something around how we have internalized and socialized and through religion and stuff being like encouraged to identify masculinity and manhood that's so fucking rigid that it doesn't allow for any of that. If you're gay, if you don't suck the dick, you must be gay. But if she doesn't eat a coochie, she was experimenting. She was just figuring it out. Right? Like we gotta allow for it to be both ways. If we don't, we end up back
So
to
wait,
that video we just watched with old girl.
hold on, Gunner. So you're saying that a man sucking dick isn't gay?
I am saying for me, the definition around being gay or homosexual is that there is a innate desire to want to build a relationship that's based in romantic courting and love with someone of the same gender. I was gay before I ever had gay sex. Right? I was gay at 5 before I ever had sex with a boy. I was gay at 9 when I was still having sex with girls. I was gay at 16 when I was still having sex with girls. Me having sex did not define me being gay. My natural innate attraction, right? It's the same thing not the same thing, but different when we talk about, like, for instance, trans. You didn't just become trans, right? You've always been trans and had to find out what that looks like. You were trans from the moment you felt that this didn't line up, not from the moment you did this act. Your trans is independent of that.
No, Gunner. Today we don't know that because we have people now that are saying that they're trans, but they don't. They sometimes they did. They
But
didn't.
again, but those are a lot of those be the white libidinal applause, right? I was thinking about black people. What I'm saying, because I don't really want to delve down that lane, but you see what I'm saying? Like, who you are, your identity, before you have the language for it, and before specific acts define it, is still who you were or are. A nun who's never engaged in sexual activity can still be a heterosexual woman without having heterosexual act, because her desire, had she wanted to have a romantic relationship, would be with a man. You don't get to define me by my sexual acts, because again, if you define me by sexual acts, then a woman who pegs a man, is he gay because he's having butt sex? No, because he's having sex with a woman. Like, he's desires to be with a woman. If a straight man lay back, close his eyes, get his $20, and do probably why he's thinking, he not even thinking about this, a nigga. It's a mouth, and it's $20. I'm not letting you minimize me and the sexual acts I participate in as my identity. Right? And that's what we're doing to ourselves as gay men when we reduce straight men that may engage in a gay sex act as gay. We're reducing who we are down to solely how the fuck we fuck. And being gay is bigger than who I fuck and how I fuck.
Okay, you guys, that really concludes our episode number 1. We talked about, again, Tisci tea. We talked about house ballroom tea, and we talked about a topic that was going through the internet about a video that was kind of had people talking. So we kind of are going to dive in the next episode about other things regarding, let's just say, maybe even the list that the House of Margiela and Tisci had going on. We'll talk about that in the next episode, and we'll talk about some other house drama, and we'll talk about another hot topic. Let me know the house drama, or even the Tisci tea, or even the hot topics that we should talk about in the comment section down below. Everyone, all of their social medias on the panel are going to be listed down in the description box below, so make sure you guys go check them out. Thank you guys so much for joining me in on this first episode. I truly, truly enjoyed you guys' company, your thoughts, your opinions, and keeping it very, very honest. And you guys that are watching, please don't take anything that we said to heart. This is just how we feel about certain things. It's okay to agree to disagree, or even if you guys agree with us, thank you for watching and really just being dived into this conversation. We do truly appreciate that. So remember, you guys, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when we upload, because you guys do not want to miss the future content that we're going to put out, and you guys do not want to miss the future guests that we're going to have on this platform.
I do want to say to all those people that talk shit, make sure you keep a toothbrush, because otherwise your breath stinks.
Also, Gunner has a music thing that he's got going on. So in the background music, you guys hear the instrumental. That's exactly Gunner's work. Yo-Yo has a fabulous, fabulous esthetician and some stuff got going on. And Lawrence, of course, is going to give you the heat and the drama all at one time, and a fabulous, fabulous leader. So he's definitely going to come back and show us some things. And you guys, yeah, so this ends our episode number 1. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.